So what makes a good group note? That's going to be the topic of discussion for today. And the reason that's very important, especially in the behavioral health field, is because you're going to have to submit these notes to back up your URs so that you provide enough information that you can actually get paid when you're submitting those to billing companies, all right? So what you're taught as a clinician in school is ambiguity, cover just enough to satisfy yourself as well as the client, basically to protect both parties. Now, one thing that's not talked about or not discussed is that payers actually have legal ground to say that it did not happen. Basically, it's a black and white. If it's not there, they're not going to accept that. So if you're really ambiguous with your notes, especially your group notes, okay, this is where it can hurt the client and yourself as a clinician as well. All right, so you want to make sure you highlight the level of service that was provided, the participation level of the client as well. And then you want to individualize the note to the specific client during that group session. So what were the withdrawal symptoms, the mood and affect, the anxiety symptoms. So something that payers always look for in a utilization review is scale questions. And you want to make sure those scale questions provide relevant information of the subject matter to the clients. So you want to make sure that your scale questions provide relevant subject matter to the client. Things like craving levels, the insight the client may have or may not have to their behavior or addiction. These are all great questions that care managers can use to identify medical necessity treatment. Another mistake that clinicians make during the notation process relevant to the group notes is the lack of content. So one big indicator of why treatment is medically necessary at the current level of care are the barriers to progress. And you want to make sure that you're highlighting the insight, the lack of insight, the ability or inability to adapt or employ coping skills or stress adaptation skills will help you as the care manager understand why your client necessitates the current level of care. Another thing that you want to make sure that you are writing down is the safety criteria, such as suicidal ideation, homicidal ideation. Does the client require contact for safety? You want to make sure that's highlighted in all notes, whether it's a group note, individual, progress, or a utilization review. All of these notes should require, and do require in our system, safety information about the client. Something else that's very important is to notate any assignments that were given to the client in any of the group sessions. So this helps ensure that the care managers understand how the assignments are being provided and how they correlate with the client's treatment plan as well as the goals. So before we wrap up, one thing that you always want to include is the interventions that were provided during that group session. This will help you cover yourself on the basis that you're providing evidence-based care rather than ambiguous note-taking, okay? We want very clear and concise notes. So we've talked about all the things that you need in a group note and your notes in general. Let's take this down to a simple art, and that is templates. With our EMR, we've actually created templates that follow medical necessity criteria, and all of the questions that we've presented that you ask are included in our group notes and all of our notes. When you utilize the Notation Matrix EMR software, our canned messages, the notes, the templates, it guarantees you that we're going to incorporate medical necessity criteria for your URs and any notes that you take for your clients. So I hope you learned a little bit about what makes a good group note. Obviously the templates that we provide in our EMR software at Notation Matrix do that exactly. So if you want to see that for yourself, request a demo. It's really simple. Just go to the link below. I'll have one where you can request. Click that, fill out the information, and we'll schedule you a demo.